Hey y'all, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here I want to go into that thing that Monique was talking about with the bonnet, the satin bonnets. But let me tell you a story. My friend wanted to manufacture bonnets, and she did, so that women can put on these things and look fashionable when they go out into the street. They go to the supermarket, when they go out back to the beauty salon to get their do done or something like that. And she thought it would be a good thing, they didn't just have to wear it around the house. They can actually have a bonnet to match their attire. But then now, you have Monique come out and let you know it's just not cool. Whatever the trend is, or whatever they're trying to do with this bonnet thing, is just not it. And see, I get both sides because, I'm in a place where, I have to fix it up myself, and if I don't, I got to tie it up, wrap it up, do something, or, figure it out. Sometimes when you move through places, they don't have stuff for 4C here. If you're not mixing it up all natural, you're not going to find it. So the next best thing is a cap. Because let's face it, and I'm talking to my ladies, if I know, and I've come out here on these videos with my hair and no, there's no excuse, because if I figure it out and play with it long enough, I guess every day I can lose the head tie, I can lose the head tie and maybe put on a bonnet, but I can't go that route. But anyway, I get both sides, all jokes aside. But we come from a lineage of well-dressed, well-maintained people. If you look at the images of our people coming all throughout time, they are always dressed in their best, hair done, clothes right. They're making the least look the best. They're creative genius in being able to make something out of nothing. And I remember watching my mother take a couple of pieces of cloth. And the women that were a part of the village, in the raising. They knew how to take something and make something fine, fly, as they used to go, out of it. Really. So there is something about letting yourself go and accepting just any old thing as it's all right. It's okay. I can do this and get away with it. Of course you can. Of course you can. It's not about trying to appease everyone. But it is a reminder that your ancestors always walked in their greatness, as their greatness, and even as they were slipping, they found a way to make something out of nothing. And they weren't slipping in that way. You just had folks around them, so they created the folks around them, if I go into the spiritual side of it, but I'm going to keep it here. You have folks around them that did not want them to look so good or wear their hair out. They tell them, wrap that stuff up. That's where the word dreadlocks came out, because people used to say, oh, it's so dreadful. It's so dreadful. So now people use dreadlocks. No, it's locks. But it was those others talking about, oh, it's so dreadful, you know. And then, of course, when they begin to mix up and mix breed people, the hair started to come out looking a little curly and stuff. And that's when the others really felt threatened. Wrap that stuff up. But I'm here to say, sisters, whatever you do, remember to keep it tight and right. Figure out what you're going to do with it. Figure out a beautiful head wrap style or whatever you have to learn to do. Look who's talking, you know, I'm working on it too. To maintain the look of greatness. Realize that when someone sets a trend, those who are not creating their own style will fall into that trendy thing, which is okay. You know, it's all good. We can all enjoy someone's creation. But there are some trends that are done intentionally to separate us from ourselves and from our greatness and from the lineage and the way that we were, the way that we did things. That was a part of our culture. We behaved a certain way, walked a certain way, dealt a certain way. Most of the African cultures, women were treated differently from other women. The Caucasoid male was not used to women being held as such, in such a grand light, if you will, because that's not how they treated their women. Anyway, a quick word about the hair and the bonnet. I know it's a quick word, but yeah, we're going to have to take a little more time with ourselves, sisters, and just keep and keep it up. Keep it up. Walk in that knowing of whose you are and the greatness that you are and the legacy that has been handed down. This is when I say get your mind back, get your mind back, get your mind back. It's just like back in the day and even now they use songs and images and videos to get women to begin degrading themselves, lowering themselves. And women of today, many don't see how it's been used, how they were raised on this type of mentality, and they continue to carry out the mentality, though they believe it is of their own free will, that it was something that they chose for themselves, not knowing that it had been indoctrinated along the way through movies and videos and all types of things. And the same thing with young men. Growing up, observing and watching certain type of videos. You got women doing what they watched along the way, thinking that it's something they adopted on their own, when they're actually following a trend or became a part of the herd mentality and following something and going along with something that has been written for them. And I talk about how people write narratives. They plan this stuff out way before, and then before you know it, the next generation are doing things that were in videos and songs a generation before, that the generation before was exposed to. They are now carrying it out, believing that's who they are. When the power and the greatness and the beauty and everything is just right there with them. I mean, just so awe-inspiring beauty. Hey, quick word. I know I talked about the satin bonnet in the back corner. Anyway, much love, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste.